Liftoff and the clock has started.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi Showbie with me, Richard Vobes. It's the 25th of June 2021. It's 8 o'clock here in the UK. Might be a different time where you are. Check your watches. And we have a show full of absolute rubbish and nonsense, but some very classy videos. Thanks to you, the lovely viewer, who has gone out of your way and sent them in to the old Vobie, here in a terraced house at the foot of the South Downs at the edge of the English Channel in jolly old Worthing. Yes, Worthing, where your heart is fine. Oh, excuse me, I just got to... No, I'm only kidding. Don't worry, I'm in fine fettle. On the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the lovely Julia. She is flitting in and flitting out while sorting out the children. Of course, she's got both children. Next week, actually, we must ask her about this because Elijah, her eldest son, will be flitting off on a school trip, which would be nice. So she will only have one. Unfortunately, the one that she's got will be the one that's going... What are you doing? No, don't do that. Don't touch that. Oh, for goodness sake. Yes, it's little Geronimo Joe. Geronimo Joe! That's the one. Anyway, how are you? We've come to the end of another week. Blimey, that went quick, didn't it? How are you? What are you up to? What are you doing? We want to know. Remember, you can call in the show at various intervals within it on the number required. Just to let you know what that number is. Now, don't forget, you can call the show this evening on 0793 4746 790. 0793 4746 790. Yeah, it's a little bit mad this evening, but don't let that worry you too much. Anyway, yes, you can call in. Now, as you know, we have got this new interactive game on the show in which you can send in pictures and we'll give you the subject. It's a subject that's been set up by the Champs. If you remember on Wednesday's show, she set up the subject and we would appreciate your pictures because we want to hear your story. I want to tell you a story. Yes, absolutely. But before all that, we need to find out who's actually here on the old roll call. So let's see who is actually out here. And we do have, it's not quite roll call music, but we do have some music. Let's see if we can get that going. Here it goes. I'll just turn it down a fraction. Thank you very much. So on the show tonight, watching the show wherever you are with a computer in front of you, a tablet or some such measure, we have the lovely Julia, we have Ernie Samet, we have Tool Podge Rog, we have Station Master's Choice and Jackie HQ, not HQ, HW, beg your pardon Jackie, sorry about that. You're probably sitting in your HQ, which is probably lovely. Also out there, did I mention Station Master's Choice? I think I did. But also Kerry Baldwin is there along with Daniel Watkins, who had a doctor's appointment and he's got some tablets. So, oh dear, he's very depressed. What, depressed that you've got the tablets? Yeah, not surprised. I'm a bit dubious of medicines myself, but you may have a different thought on that. Anna Jones is there. Sean James Cameron. I'm making bread after watching a Vobes bread making video. Sounds superb, if you ask me. That's very good. We want to see a picture of the bread when it's made, of course. Bonnie has arrived, which is lovely to see. G Ramp says good evening. Michael White is out there. Alison O'Brien, who says I've got to have a steroid injection in my knee to help with the pain that I've got. Oh, blimey. Now, you be careful, because when I had steroids, I sort of went and blew up like a Michelin man. If you don't believe me, look out. Go to YouTube, type in Vobes and Exeter, and the video that comes up, you will not recognise me. Daily Walker. Hello to Daily Walker. Lovely to see you. Darren Howell and Helen Hicklin. Good evening, peeps, she says. The sunshine at the last half an hour here in Selsey. Lovely to have you here in Selsey, which is great. Alison O'Brien says, I've got... Oh, I've just read that. You don't want two of those of an evening. So that would be nice. I'll just turn that music down a fraction in case it's bothering you. What else have we got there? Bonnie says, I was outside in Surrey for 28 years. Oh, well, I'm glad you've come down to jolly old Sussex. You've seen the light. We've plenty of good light down by the seafront, and no doubt you see it in your beach hut. I'm sure you do. I felt a huge relief returning to Brighton. Bless your socks of cottonness. Michael Thornley has also popped in. Linda Kane, which is nice to see you. A number of others, Mark G included. Ron Langley is also tapping away out there. Paul Rampton, hello to you. Nice to see you, Paul, who complimented me on the new microphones. If you haven't seen the new microphones, they are here doing their microphone business. I've seen them everywhere now whenever I go on a YouTube thing. So often many of them are in black that I see, but I've gone for a more jolly, colourful sort of thing. Stumpy Candletop is here. Audrey Forbes says, hello. Has everyone sent in a picture of their bloomers? Coming on to that in a moment. Emily Champion has sent my bloomer photo in. Let's find out if anybody else has. Flappy Goose, I have a cold. Oh, no, that's terrible. Should I panic or wait for it to go away like it used to? Wait for it to go away. Your immune system, dear boy, will deal with it, I'm absolutely sure. Andrew Norris is there. Hello to you, Andrew Norris. Had a nice chat with him via WhatsApp earlier today. Josephine Souter, Julie Berry, hello to you. Alan Sandell, they're all coming in thick and fast towards the end here. Somebody I saw but I didn't announce. I can't remember. Where are you? Missed it. Never mind. Move on. Paul Cockrell, I think, was the name I was looking for. And that seems to be it. Happy birthday to Stumpy Candle Stop. Very happy birthday to you. So there we go. That's marvellous. Let's fade out the background music, or just switch it off. That's one way of doing it. Let's turn that off over there. There we go. Anyway, that's marvellous. Thank you very much for coming along on a Friday evening to the old Vobes show. It's very good of you to come in. A quick, before we move on, I don't know if Rick is watching. You know who you are, Rick. Rick very kindly knocked on my door the other day. Now, you may remember I did a Bald Explorer video with him in Ambley. It was his birthday, and I surprised him, thanks to his lovely daughter, Debbie, who said, Richard, sorry, I just thought I was having a nosebleed then, but it's not. She said, didn't say that, actually. She said, Richard, you're not having a nosebleed. And I went, she arranged it. We went to Ambley. We made a video. You've probably seen it. If you haven't, check it out. Anyway, Rick came to my door and he said, I was working in a place today and they were throwing some stuff out into a skip. And I know how much you want to accumulate more stuff into your house. So I've got you this. Look at this. Now, I know Ernie Sammet will be dead jealous. This is a picture, as you can see, of a Persian tank. Oh, no, I beg your pardon. It is Concorde. As you know, Concorde was a vital aeroplane that fought during the Battle of... Oh, I'm sorry, it's not actually Concorde. I do apologise. What is it? It's a picture of... Is it an albatross? No, it's a lovely Spitfire. I think it's a Spitfire. It could be a Hurricane, but it's more likely to be a Spitfire. And he says, Richard, many thanks for a most memorable birthday on the 22nd of April. Best regards, from Rick. So that's lovely. I'm going to find a space to hang up. I did think about hanging it in the studio, possibly on the sofa side, so that when we cut to the sofa, you see it there. Who knows? But I need to bang a nail into the wall. I'm a bit worried about that in case the wall falls down. It is a very old house. Now, on today's show, we want to see what your bloomers are. Now, this was set by the lovely Emily Champions, and she has sent in, if I can find her thing, show us your bloomers. Now, the idea about the bloomer was that you have a story connected with it. It's a disaster that's happened, an object that may have caused a disaster or is the result of a disaster, and we want to know the story behind it. So this is Emily's bloomer. Have a look at this. Now, all I can tell you is it looks like some remote-controlled Lego device, and already I'm imagining that somebody has gone flying out of a window or something rather dreadful. So, obviously, we need to hear from the champs to find out what the story is behind it. So let's hope that Emily will give us a tinkle on the old blower and that you can ring in. We'd like to know all about that, and I'm sure she will. Meanwhile, we also have some videos, one from Colonel Craig Ratty. We have Ray of Hope with a nice tune. We've missed Ray of Hope, actually, in his tunes. Bernie is at Bosham Castle, and Jackie and Miles Hammond are down at Bosham. We also have Bonnie's got a creature quiz, and we've got the Bloomers thing. So that's all very good. So we hope that Emily will... Oh, we've got to guess, have we? We've got to guess what happened. Guess what happened. Has anybody got to guess what happened? Here's the picture again. Can anyone actually guess? Oh, that's not what I meant to show. There we are. Can anyone guess what happened? I mean, it's, as I say, it's a Lego thing. I mean, presumably, what can you say happened? It blew up. It caught fire. Maybe that's what happened. Did it catch fire? Did it run out into the street and cause a traffic accident? Was one of the children responsible for fixing a camera that went into the shower as you were taking a shower and got some very naughty pictures? Was it something that managed to capture the pictures of Matt Hancock and Lover? Oh, interesting news that in the news. I don't know if you caught that on the front page of The Sun today. The man who's been telling us to keep social distance, to keep well away, you can't hug your granny even if she's dying, managed to be more than within the social distance required with somebody who didn't live with him. In fact, the woman lived with somebody else, in fact, was somebody else's husband, turns out. Very interesting situation. Can you take the things that the elite tell us to do seriously anymore. If there's one rule for them and there's another for us, surely we don't have to obey all their nonsense, do we? It doesn't seem right. But anyway, let's find out. Nigel Sadler says it's a 40-plus-year-old Lego thing. 40 years old. Well, look at the batteries. I don't know whether you can still buy these sort of batteries. Oh, I've done it again. Buy these sort of batteries. Can you buy those great big HP 11s? I thought we'd sort of passed all of that. Maybe we have, maybe we haven't. But let me know what you think. Emily says no one is close. Let's have a look and see what it is. I will call in after some guesses, she says. I had one of those as a child, says Sean James Cameron. They look like old batteries. Yes, that's what I thought. Paul Cockrell says, did you tread on it? I don't recall sending in a quiz. It must have been sleep emailing. You sent something with big creatures in it, Bonnie. Flappy Goose says, stepping on Lego bricks in the dark. Emily says, yes to Nigel, that it's, 40 years old. Jonathan says, did a Lego piece get stuck in a nostril? Oh, that's a good one. No one is close as yet. Linda Kane says, I thought he was creepy and devious from the beginning. Now there's this to add to the list. Absolutely. I mean, it's the hypocrisy. Never mind that, people do have affairs. You can never, what we cannot expect the Boris Johnson government to be anything other than not squeaky clean if we go by the man in charge himself. I'm not casting any aspersions, but I think we sort of know that his reputation isn't exactly the best. So he's not the best person to turn around and say, oh, your morals, Mr. Hancock, are not so good. We have a phone call. Let's find out if it is the Emily Champs and find out a little bit more about our mystery picture. Hello.
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 It's the Champs.
Hello, the Champs. And it's lovely to hear your wonderful voice on here. I know that...
Oh, no, because I haven't called in for a while.
No. Chris and Harriet are celebrating the wonders that is the Champs.
I know. I did. I didn't hear back from them last time I phoned in, and I was getting a bit worried because I hadn't heard anything.
Oh, what a shame! It's such a shame they haven't called in or written.
I know.
Some,
I hope they're okay.
They're probably reeling at being talked about in such
Abused.
positive, yes, of such positive way. Anyway, never mind all that. We put a picture up a few minutes ago. I'm going to show it again. Let's have another look.
Yeah.
There it is. It's a picture of a box with batteries in.
There's a few things going on in that picture.
There's postcards.
So if you kind of come out, not zoom right in.
I beg your pardon.
Right to the left of that.
Oh, the glass bottle. No.
Yeah, no one's mentioned anything to do with that.
I just thought that was in the way, to be fair.
No, that's it might be a red herring.
Right, I think it's a cardboard box. Red herrings tend to be...
Well, it has got something in it. Well, no, it's not an actual red herring. No, that would just be plain cruel if I kept it in a box.
Yeah, that's true. With no water.
No, with no water.
With no water. Flapping about going...
let me out.
I'm thirsty.
Yeah, you don't get a ship in a bottle in my house. You get a fish in a bottle.
That's nice. So this is what
you've got
Callawin glass bottle cutter kit.
Right. So nobody's mentioned anything about that.
Could you just first of all tell me what the hell is a Callawin glass bottle cutter kit, and why the hell would you want to cut a bottle?
That's a craft activity.
It's very crafty. I mean, what did they do? Is it so that they can get them in the bins better, so that they get them into smaller size?
It's to create something out of bottles. It's on my to-do list of things to do. Yeah. Yeah. But I won't say much more about it because I'm hoping to get something done ready for when I come down to the Vobes show.
Oh, so lovely! You can show us off your craft.
Yes, I will show that. So that was a red herring, but no one's mentioned anything about that because I thought, someone's going to think I've cut myself.
Oh, right, okay. So then you've got this orange box.
Yeah.
Which is what, a grocery box or something?
It has got 1970s Lego in it.
Yes.
That those batteries are from the 1970s.
Are they? And you kept them all that time?
Well, they were given to me by my uncle. with about another 3 boxes full of Lego. And so I've been sorting through it because I do a Lego club for children, for autistic children.
Right. Oh, do you?
And and I do it online. And I've got some nice bits of old Lego. And like the minifigures are not mini, they're quite big actually. They're very different from the minifigures that we see now.
They're very different.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're
I haven't played with Lego for such a long time. I've seen some of Julia's Legos, not Julia's, but her kids, obviously. Yeah. And I wouldn't recognise it as Lego. Everything's so much more intricate, smaller, and easy to swallow.
Yes, definitely. There are some really tiny pieces, but the good thing about, I don't know if they did this. I don't think they did, but now you've got this special gadget that can help you get Lego pieces off the base plates. Like it's when it's really hard to get them off, especially little pieces. There's like a lever piece that you can. I've got a couple of them. Because otherwise you can't get the little pieces off. It's really difficult.
Why do you suppose they manufacture them so tiny when tiny things can get into the hands and throat? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? I thought of that not that long ago. I thought, do you know what? Lego pieces don't have holes in, do they? So if you swallow it, you're stuffed, aren't you?
Yeah.
Whether it's a big piece or a little piece.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know why they do that, but they do have obviously lots of kits now that have tiny pieces that you have to, put together.
Right.
And a lot of transparent pieces as well. I've got quite a lot of transparent Lego.
They end up in the Hoover, presumably, because you don't see them to put them away, and then it's like
exactly.
Donk. What the hell is donk donk?
Yeah, exactly. And it's tearing around your Hoover.
Yeah.
But yeah, so. No, it's not. The injury wasn't from treading on it.
Right. That would have been the first.
So no one's. That's what people said.
That's the most obvious thing. I trod on it. Oh, well, there we are. End of story. So, okay, we're looking for a corker. Bear in mind, you could make anything up.
I could do, but it is true.
It's true, ladies and gentlemen. It's true.
It is true. This is a true story, people.
A true story.
Now, this particular box is. At the bottom of my stairs. It's not directly at the bottom of my stairs, it's to the right of my stairs. So you'd have to come down the bottom of the stairs and turn to your right to be able to get to it.
Yeah.
Now, my injury was I fell down the stairs.
Oh, not because
I landed in this box.
Oh, you landed in the box? Yeah. On top of the Lego?
First. Yeah. My head first.
Head first?
Yeah, so I actually went round the bend of the stairs at the bottom,
right,
and landed into the box.
I landed into the box, blimey.
Yeah, I know, but as I fell, because I fell forwards down the stairs, I fell on the tip of my toes, so I basically stubbed my toes.
Oh, nasty.
And fell down the stairs into the box.
And were you all right? Were you rushed to hospital? Had you broken a leg?
Well, no, I just got dragged into the other room and had an ice pack thrown on it, and that was it. Really.
And did you do one of those? Oh, help! As you fell down, like help! Clunk.
It all happened so quick. It was just 1 minute I was there, and the next minute I wasn't. I was kissing the Lego.
Oh, golly. And in that box, I'm looking at that box. I'm glad you're all right, by the way. In that box, it looks like there's some postcards as well. Is there postcards or something inside that box? There's just down there, I'm not quite sure what they are.
Might be.
There's some little photographs or something in the corner.
Put the picture back up.
I have.
Oh, there. No, do you know what they are? They're Lego manuals from the 70s.
Oh, I see. Lego manuals.
Yeah, so they're like original manuals that you would have got with the sets.
Right.
But I haven't yet gone through them all.
And did you hit your head on those HP 11s? No,
I stuck my tongue on it.
You stuck your tongue on it, wrapped it round into. Are they HP 11 or HP 2?
I think it said 11 on it.
Yeah, well, it's got 2 1s, you see. Is that Roman 2 or 11?
No, I don't know, actually.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not
Nigel,
sure. Maybe someone could put that.
Mr. Sadler will know.
But the funny thing is about me falling down the stairs, and I did find it quite amusing.
Right.
That same week, at the beginning of the week, my daughter also fell down the stairs, not at the same part.
No.
But on a different part on the stairs. Now, no one's ever fallen down our stairs, ever.
Were you pushed?
But that's what I said. I said, I'm sure I was pushed.
Really? Did you feel you were pushed?
Well, I don't know.
Ever...
It's just like I was there. It was like I was there and then I wasn't.
No one has ever fallen down those stairs before.
Exactly.
I was pushed, my lord. I was pushed.
Do you know what? I think as I fell down, I fell on a ferret.
Oh, the poor little ferret.
I know.
I fell on a ferret the other day.
I fell on a ferret.
As a rug now.
Oh, do you squish him? Poor little bugger. I was looking at doing this ringtone the other day. Thanks to David Vad, he sent the music in for the ringtone. I haven't yet recorded it, but I've got to do that over the weekend. We've got to get the ringtone done so people can put it on their phones.
I've got to take my Blackadder ringtone off and put that on instead.
Put that one on, yeah. I've got to get the timing quite right. I think it's about 30 seconds of ringtone there is.
Yeah, so it keeps repeating and annoying everyone.
Absolutely. Well, that is a hilarious story. I'm glad you're all right, so that you can.
No, it's all right. I mean, at first I did think maybe I've broken my ankle or something because my foot was so I don't know where I'd stubbed it or twisted it or something. It was so cold, like like when you put something in heat and it's so hot it feels cold.
Yes.
That's what my foot felt like.
Oh.
And I thought, oh God, now how am I going to go running?
Well, yeah, of course, that's true.
That was the
you
first
weren't
thing
worried
that went
about
through
your
my
head
mind.
then, going head first into something.
Not worried about that.
No. Oh, right.
I was like, how am I going to go running?
Have you been running this evening? Or today?
I went running this morning with the parents and their buggies. We had a mum and a dad. Not they weren't partners. They were two separate people. But
right.
They
push their buggies? Do they? Is that the running with buggies?
Yeah.
That became a bit of a thing, didn't it?
And they run with their buggies and try and get the babies to sleep.
Yeah, going at 25,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's like a white knuckle ride for them.
Yeah, the kids are going, oh Christ.
You have to strap them in.
Like Brands Hatch for babies. Oh
Strap
dear,
on
oh dear.
Whiplash collars.
So Audrey says, did Emily have to visit A&E to have the ferret extracted?
Yeah.
Let's hope not. Was she assaulted by the Lego, then battered, says Michael White. Yes. And what else? Is it that what gives HP? Oh, I don't know. That's something else.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's brilliant. So what we want, so now we want other people's bloomers. Is there an object? That's what we're asking, isn't it? Is there an object that other people have got that has caused something to happen, whether it be an accident like yourself, or it could be, anything really?
Because the thing is, it never seems to give you the accident that you think you would get from it.
No, that's right.
And that's the funny thing. And I know that a lot of accidents that happen in the home are due to putting and taking off underwear.
I heard a weird statistic, and I can't remember what the actual numbers are, but there's quite a lot of people who apparently die as a result of putting on their trousers. Really? I
guess they fall over like timber.
Well, I think they must trip and somehow bang their head. They're pulling over their trousers, putting on their trousers. They lose their balance and they must hit their head or do something which sends them off to the next realm. And the thing...
Oh, that's not nice to be found with your trousers down.
Well, no, absolutely. You're found 3 months later when people say, well, I'm sure he was coming out today. He said he was just going to nip up and put his trousers on.
Well, I hope he had clean pants on.
Well, who knows? He may have been going out commando. But people, but that is a statistic, but it's a small statistic. But I remember listening to this and somebody was comparing something else with how dangerous something was. It may have been a COVID-related thing, but it was like, you've more chance of dying from pulling on your trousers.
Oh, God, than getting COVID.
Well, whatever it was. I can't swear that it was COVID, but it may have been something like that.
That would have been a great statistic.
Wouldn't that have been great, So
I did work with someone who they came into work next day with their whole finger in this great big cast, but it was their middle finger.
oh yeah,
And I was like, what on earth's happened to you? And she said, don't ask.
don't
And I
ask.
thought, well, of course I'm going to ask.
Yeah.
She said that she'd been doing some exercise or something like that, or she was about to go and do some exercise, and she was pulling on her running leggings, but as she pulled them up, they got stuck on her skin, and her finger snapped back on the top knuckle joint and actually snapped the finger. And as her hand came up, the tendons or something like that literally snapped in half, resulting in this injury. And she literally, for months, she had her finger in this cast from that, just putting on her trousers.
That must have looked hilarious. So.
I can imagine. She probably slapped her own face.
Yeah, what have you been doing with that? I stuck it in a vice, didn't I? Squared it down. Outrageous. Matt Hancock says, Sean Buttimer, Matt Hancock had a slip with his trousers. Yeah, we could well have done.
Were they leather? Were they leather trousers?
They may well have been. Who knows what he wears in the office, because he works day and night, apparently, with his aide at his aide. Killing yourself, putting on your trousers, says Rufus with a big question mark. Ron Langley says, show us your bloomers, Richard. I haven't got any bloomers.
You're wearing them now.
I'm wearing, underneath the table. I can't show you. Bonnie says, I taught maths to a teenager in London, and one thing I got them to do was to find out how many young men died of accidents. Well, we want to know how many young men did die of accidents.
I guess there's probably more than young women.
Yeah, could well be. Apparently, one guy died in 2009 from catching a dangling bit in a zipper.
Oh, I bet he get on an infection or something.
Oh, yeah, that must have been.
Or the
nasty.
shock of it.
Yeah. Lisa says, Bonnie, I'm shocked as they're so health conscious. We're suddenly off topic. What is it? Sausage in the zipper. We've all done that.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Women don't have that issue, do they? They don't really get anything stuck in.
Well, I've had moles stuck on my bra strap.
Moles?
And, like moles on your body.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking like ferrets. I was thinking of like a mole. I mean, I did once go to put my trousers on and there was a hedgehog in it. But these were a pair of trousers that had been
It wasn't a badger.
No, it wasn't a badger. But I'd left these trousers outside. They'd fallen off the washing line.
No.
And they'd fallen down. I hadn't noticed. I went in the morning and I went to pick them up. And I went, oh, there's my trousers. I lifted them up and inside it was a hedgehog. And my God, the amount
But you got the shock of it.
The fleas. The fleas off these things, a huge amount of fleas.
Yeah, leaping off you.
Leaping, they were. Leaping. And so I was gaping in it. Because the kids saw it, they thought it was hilarious that I had a hedgehog in my trousers.
God, I've had ants in my pants before.
Have you?
Yeah, literal ants.
Literal
that
ants?
Was on it, yeah, not like me being fidgety.
Yeah, no. Well, you would be fidgety if they're in your pants.
Yeah, well, it was when we were camping. They'd made a nest in my pants.
Nice. You weren't wearing them at the time,
no,
presumably.
No.
No.
But back to the mole.
Yes, thanks.
I had this mole that was just underneath where my bra strap is, or like the elastic bit at the bottom.
Oh, at the bottom, under the cup?
Like on the underneath. Yes, under there. And I remember I was wearing a white shirt and somebody tickled me.
Right.
And next thing I know, my whole shirt was red with blood.
Oh, my.
And I thought, what the hell has happened here?
Yeah.
And it turned out that what they'd done is they tickled me so hard, they'd torn my mole off.
Good God.
With their fingers. I know. And it was hanging off. I had to go to the doctors because I've had this happen a few times. So I've had a mole near my underpants, and when I took them down in a public toilet, I'd actually pulled a mole off.
So can you get moles?
This one up there.
Can you get moles removed?
Yes, I've had them removed quite a lot. But so this one that was hanging off, I went to the doctors and they had they were using this electric device to cut it off, kind of cauterize it off.
Yeah.
And they ended up having a power cut.
Oh no!
And, in the middle of it. So they had to get the scalpel out and cut the rest out. They had to gouge it out with
in the dark.
with a knife. Yeah, in the dark with just a little light torch.
Candle. Just a moment. It does seem a bit
like
medieval, madam.
Yeah, it was. I needed a bit of leather to chew on. A bit of vodka.
Oh my giddy aunt. Oh, that sounds awful. Can you imagine it?
No.
Well, you don't have to imagine it. It happened to you. Well, there we are.
Well, yeah, only these things happen to me. I'm sure of it.
Well, there we go. I have to say that didn't expect to be talking about moles from the bottom of your undercup in tonight's show, but
no, I know.
You've painted a picture.
That started off the show well, hasn't it?
That certainly has. But I'm going to just check my email, see if anyone has sent in any pictures of bloomers, and let's see what the score is so far. A garden crisis, garden bloomers. Oh, here we go.
Someone's mentioned Flappy Goose has mentioned a merkin.
A merkin.
What's
a merkin?
That's a wig for your private parts, isn't it?
Oh, is it? I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
This is a plant that is growing. Bloomers in the garden. Is this?
Oh. Is it sharp on the edges?
I don't know. It looks lethal. It looks like a triffid. What's the story? What's the story, Ray?
Did they fall into it? Do you know what? I once came home from school, and it must have been like winter time, because it was dark when I came into my living room, and my dad was sitting in his armchair in the dark, and I thought, well, that's very odd, and he was sitting really still. I thought, oh God, are you all right? I switched the light on, and he was just sitting there looking into the darkness. I said, are you okay, Dad? And he went, no, not really. Well, it turns out this series of really unfortunate events where my mum had she didn't put it in there. It was an accident. She dropped her bracelet into a bag of carrots that she'd given to my dad to take to feed some horses.
Right.
And God. So this bracelet had fallen off.
Oh no! Yeah.
While she was doing it, he took the bag to the field where these horses were. Well, anyway, he emptied them out on the floor, and as he saw this bracelet fall to the ground, so of course he bent over to pick it up. Next thing he knows, a horse had kicked him on his backside into the stinging nettles. Head first.
Oh God!
And he was covered because my dad's bald, like you. He's got absolutely no hair.
Yeah.
He was absolutely covered in these nettle stings all over his head, his neck, his face, and he was sitting there dead new because he was in so much pain. And he was so angry, you know, with my mum. But all she could say was, "You did get the bracelet back, didn't you?"
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, did.
If he hadn't have bent over to pick it up, he wouldn't have been kicked.
So he's just sitting there in the dark with the effects of the stings everywhere. And you're going, "You're right." No, not really. Not really. And you're thinking, well, why? And turn the light on, and then he's like, he'd had his own goose pimples, I imagine.
Yeah, he did.
Oh my giddy aunt, you can't make it up.
I think the barbs were still sticking out of his head.
Oh, struth. Now, let me just go back to these plants. Sent by Raymond there. He says, unbeknown to me, I had one growing in the undergrowth. These plants are now becoming common in West Sussex. Whilst strimming away, sap was splashed on my arms. 2 days later, serious blisters, which took months to heal. It's giant hogweed. It's now quite common and very dangerous. Let's have another look.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, let's have another look.
Obviously I've heard about it, but I didn't really know what it looked
Giant hogweed. So it's the sap. Yeah, I'd heard of that, and I've never been overly worried about these sort of things when I go gallivanting on my walks in shorts and what have you. But that's what it looks like. Blimey. I wonder if anybody had guessed that.
It's the work of the devil, that.
That is, isn't it? Oh, here we go. I never quite know how Julia's good at this. the LO recorder says the return of the giant hogweed, great English prog rock. Oh, I'm not quite sure what any of that meant, but I'm sure it's good. There it is, a horrible, grim-looking thing. Thank you so much.
So I know I've heard of kids getting all their blisters and stuff, and people saying, watch out for it because they'll be playing out and not realising.
Yeah.
But
well, there
it
you
must
are.
be that acid.
But has anybody else got? Send them in during the show. We better move on.
Yeah.
But that was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah,
do call again, Emily.
Yes, because I don't call in much.
No, we don't hear much from you, and you're too swift on the phone. You're like in and out like a yo-yo.
Like a ferret.
Like a ferret. Yeah, sorry about you falling down the stairs. When did you fall? How long ago was that?
Last week.
Oh, last week. There you go.
Yeah.
Dear, oh dear.
Last week.
Blimey.
I think it was last Friday.
Oh,
it was after the show. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was
after the
Vobes
show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe that was the Vobe effect.
Mm.
As you were
I was
coming
all
down,
giddy with excitement.
Yeah, it was like I've been on the Vobe show. I've been talking about this, that, and the other. We were having a laugh, and now I feel, I'm going. It was the same day as when Chris and Harriet contacted me. Ah, well, there we are. You see,
I must have been in shock.
Must have been
from their complimentary comments.
I know, they're so nice.
I know.
Anyway, Emily, lovely to talk to you.
I'll get off.
Hoping that the lovely Julia can make the show. She is busy trying to get Joe to sleep.
Hopefully she's not had any accidents in her high heels.
No, let's not hope so. I mean, let's hope not.
No.
Came out wrong.
Get kicked by a mule.
Yeah, how funny is that?
A mule shoe.
Poor old dad.
Yeah, I know.
Right, talk to you soon.
All right, yes, speak to you soon.
Take care. Bye for now.
Right, bye.
There we are. That is the lovely champs on the Vobes Show. So, ladies and gentlemen, we press on. We've got some videos for you. We are going to investigate this creature quiz that Bonnie's not quite sure that she's sent after all. Andrew Norris said the Hogwart thing is a song by Genesis. Thank you very much for clearing that up. You know I'm not very good at music. Bonnie says, "Ya Genesis, we've got tickets." Good. Genesis is also in the Bible, I think. But I'm not sure if they've got tickets or they've got rickets. Linda Kane says, much taller than cow parsley and can grow to 11 feet. That's the giant hogweed, not the Genesis. Glenn Horton says, Watcher of the Skies was my favourite. I'm not quite sure what he's talking about. We've moved on to that thing where they go out. Astronomy. There we are. A Foxtrot says the LOE recorder. I'm sure I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but I'm not good with words. And David Vatt said, supper's ready. Oh, good. Well, I've had my supper, so we're all right. Colonel Cragratty says, a few vertical rocks have given me a couple of unexpected injuries. Yes, that doesn't surprise me, clambering up those. It must... was that... We want to know the story. Did you bash yourself? Did you go clambering down? Or did the rocks just suddenly surprise you? And Sean James Cameron says, speak up, Richard. Can't hear you over the hailstones hitting the roof. Do you know, I looked down at my volume then to make sure that I was coming out. What do you think of the new microphones? They seem to be working very well. Time, ladies and gentlemen, to go into the video box for our first video of the evening. And actually, we are going to Colonel Cragratty this evening, for he is, now he puts this a lot more eloquently, and I'm just going to read his email, actually, because he puts it so much better. He says, here is a short film from Colonel Frederick Pierre Cragratty and his beloved wife, Lady Hamilton Cragratty, showing a private tour of their grand Greendale Gully estate grounds in full bloom. So let's have a look at the estate. And there you go, a private viewing. Thank you so much, Colonel Frederick Pierre Cragratty and the lovely Lady Hamilton Cragratty for our delightful tour of your wonderful Greendale Gully estate. And it looks, have to say, it looks bloomin' lovely. Thank you very much for that. Very much appreciated. Just going to go into the video, into the email, see if anybody sent in any more bloomer problems. But nothing there, so not to worry. We will set another challenge on Monday for you to get up to. Photos of something jolly to send in. But until then, we've got some more videos. Now, Bonnie's quiz. Let's have a look. Where did you... She sent me this thing about this creature quiz. And she says she's not sure she sent it in, but she did, because I've got the answers here. The photos that we're going to see are credited to Jean Blemmings, and these are all taken between Sisbury Ring and Shoreham by Sea. But can you identify what they are? Here is the first picture. These are all of little creatures we want, not necessarily the plants. There is a bonus point if you get the plants right, but you don't get any prizes. Whilst you're looking at that, Sean James Cameron says, what's the black square on screen? What are you hiding? What do you mean, what black square on the screen? I'm not sure what he's talking about. So there we go. What have we got here? Hoverfly, says Michael White. Dave Ivad says it's a hoverfly. Richard turned Julia into a black box. Oh, the black box is because she hasn't appeared when I went to have a look in there. So there we go. She remembers. Bonnie remembers. She says, I remember now. Let's have a look, see what well, you think it's a hoverfly. We'll stick with that for the moment. We'll go on to the next picture and see if you can identify the next creature here. I'll zoom in a bit for you. There we go. Can you identify that one? Do you know what it is? And also, what is the plant? Just for an extra thrill. Mark Burgess says, is it a hornet? I don't think it's a hornet, but we'll see in a moment. I have got the answers. And Colonel Cragratty is saying something to Bonnie. And Station Master's Choice has gone for hoverfly for the previous one. That's all good, but nobody's guessing this one. Oh, it's a moth. Yes, it's a hawk moth. A moth and thistle. It's a hawk moth. Lots of good ones. Is it knapweed? It's a blimpkin great moth. On a thistle, says Station Master's Choice. Okay, keep those. We'll go to the next picture. Here it comes. Now then, look at that. That looks very nice. But what is it? Can anybody identify it? So Anna Jones reckons the other one was a hawk moth. Kerry Baldwin is saying a skipper butterfly. But what is this one? This one I think must be a butterfly, or is it a moth? So sometimes these butterflies and moths are very similar, but there must be a technical difference between the two. Sean James Cameron is showing his age, saying, is it Wendy Craig? For those of you who do remember, what was that series? Butterflies. And didn't they do a series on Mother Makes 4 or something, if I remember rightly, with Wendy Craig? This is a butterfly. It says a flutterby. Is it a tiger moth, says Jackie H.W. David Vad saying it's another moth. Painted lady butterfly, says the Eastbourne couple. Lesser spotted dragon moth, says Colonel Cragratty. Great to have all these guesses coming in. The next one, here we go. Now that's got to be a butterfly, hasn't it? Very beautiful looking thing. But have you any idea? Look at all that. I mean, the colouring is just exquisite, with the little blue sort of dots, all highlighted, if you like, by that black outliner. And then the orange and yellow with the... That's more like a tiger, isn't it? Is that a tiger moth or a tiger butterfly or a blue-edged black and orange creature with things on it? Be interested to know. Is that a red admiral? Is it a red Leicester? It could be red Leicester, like the cheese. Painted lady. Buttercup, says... Audrey Forbes. A small tortoise, says Elfwald. And the next one, I think, is the final one of this. Here we go. Not a butterfly at all. But what is that? Is it a newt? Is that a newt? Some form of newt? Is it? It's not a crested newt, is it? By any strange quirk of the imagination, or is it a something lizard? Be interesting to know what you think. Bonnie and Linda Kane are laughing and pointing. Yes, Linda Kane is right. It's a painted lady, bit tatty. Ah, poor tatty old painted lady. A slow worm, says Mark Burgess. Definitely not a slow worm. Audrey says it's a slow worm, but it's got legs. I didn't think slow worms had legs. I thought it was a newt. Surely it must be a newt. Common lizard, says Linda Kane. A skink, whatever a skink is. Such a cutie. Anyway, there we are. Let's find out what the answers are. If you remember the first one, let's go back here. The first is a question, actually. Is it a bumble wasp? That was what everybody else was saying was a hoverfly. Is it a bumble wasp? Is there such a thing? A bumble wasp? I don't know. But anyway, that's what she's saying. The next one was skipper butterfly sitting on knapweed. A skipper butterfly, just to remind you. I'll go in for it. That did look like a moth. But that's a skipper butterfly. It does look more moth-like, I have to admit, to me. I'm not admitting it to me, I'm just saying it loud. The painted lady is the one that is a bit dull. I mean, it's a bit of a rough old painting, that one. Painted lady, which was nice. And the Red Admiral you all got, which actually I didn't think it was a Red Admiral, funnily enough. But I thought it was the blue that put me off. But that's clearly what it was. And the last one is a lizard, a common lizard. So there we go. We got that, didn't we? Not a newt, just a common lizard sitting on a log, which he was having, by the looks of things, a rather lovely time. So there we go. Marvellous stuff. And that's the email coming in. Brilliant. Okie dokie. Thank you very much, Bonnie. We do enjoy your quizzes, by the way, so please do keep sending them in. After all, we wouldn't have anything else to show, apart from our wonderful videos. And we're going in for another video next. It's Jackie and Miles Hammond. They have been to a lovely place. I haven't been there recently, although I passed it on my Sussex border walk, and that is Bosham, or Bosham, as our friends across the water like to call them. But I did make a video with Martin Snow some years ago, which you can always check out. But let's have a look at Jackie's video at Bosham. Bosham! That was lovely. That was very lovely. Thank you so much, Jackie. I forgot to say that the first part there was Worthing. Appreciate that I missed that bit out, but thank you. But, of course, it was a lot of Bosham there for us to enjoy with the tide out. Of course, don't park your car there. Don't park your car there down on the seafront and forget about it, because when the tide comes in, you may need a tractor to get it out, which can be a bit of an issue. So we don't want any of that. Just having a quick look to see if the lovely Julia is there. Hot off the press, Sean James Cameron says a judge in Minneapolis sentences former police officer Derek Chauvin, or however you pronounce his name, to 22 years and 5 months in prison for murdering the chap George Floyd, which sparked off the Black Lives Matter protests and stuff. Not really able to comment about that because I don't really know too much about it, and it's not really for this show, but it's hot off the press. That, along with Hancock's Handycock, is a curious day of events. Paul Rampton's been in touch, and he says, I saw this moth earlier today, and I thought it was a stick. Have a look at this. Does anybody actually know what it is? And when you look at it, it does look like a stick. Here it is. It just looks like a piece of twig or something that's broken off. But look very carefully, and there are legs and, I don't know whether you call them tentacles, or there's not testicles, or antennae, whatever it is. But look at that. What an incredibly well and deceptive looking moth. But for the fact that it is sticking on a yellow sign in an implausible position that you would think, wait a minute, either there's some chewing gum underneath it or it must be a creature. But what is it? Kerry Baldwin says a buff tip moth, she says. Isn't that an amazing thing to stumble across? Thank you so much, Paul. That just came in hot off the press. Brilliant stuff. So, yeah, there we are. If you want to send if you've got a question you want to pose to anybody else, do send it in to the Vobes Show, richard@vobes.com. I need to get an email account for the Vobes Show, which would be much easier, wouldn't it? I'll have to investigate about that. That would be handy. Then people can send stuff into the Vobes Show directly. Thank you very much, Jackie. As I think it was Emily Champions, who said that your video was like a spa for the eyes, nice and relaxing. So thank you so much. Do send another one. We enjoy it very much indeed. We've got a couple more to go through, but it's 9 o'clock. Just looking to see if lovely Julia is here. She isn't as yet, but don't let that worry you. She's really struggling. I had a message to say she's struggling with Joe at the moment. He's got a bit frantic, so we're sending her the best wishes and hypnotic vibes to get the Geronimo Joe asleep. However, now, ladies and gentlemen, remember, we would love to hear from you. Now, don't forget, you can call the show this evening on 0793 4746 0793 4746 So give us a call. What I get up to in my spare time, ladies and gentlemen. Some people have a life, but some of us just muck about. Here we go. We have a phone call. Let's find out who it's from. Headphones going on, and we will see who's calling in on the Vobe line. Hello, caller.
Hello, it's young Raymond here from Bosham.
Raymond, we have a wonderful sea shanty of yours to play in shortly.
Yes, later on, yeah. It took about 18 takes to take that because it's a very fast tune. Very difficult.
Do you know, there was so little introduction, I thought, I wonder what take this was, because it's like the first time you do it, it's like there's a bit of waffle, blah blah blah, and then of course, and I'm the same, by the 15th take. It's like, look, here's a piece of bloody music. I'm fed up with this. Yeah. But bless you.
Unfortunately, I'm not as skilled as you at editing videos. I'll start to learn. I've got a video editor, but I haven't started to use it yet, so I'll start to learn.
Well, don't worry. You're brilliant on the music side, and that's what we love. Thank you for sending that.
I'm not a musician, but what I called in was that giant hogweed.
Yes.
Now, where I live in north of Horsham, you probably know there's a tributary of the Arun called the Bouldings Brook.
The Bouldings Brook, yeah.
Yeah. Well, all following that down, there's lots and lots of these giant hogweeds all the way down. And it's like the seeds follow the stream.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense.
And those pictures I showed you, they were taken yesterday, actually, on the way to my golf club at Gatton Manor in Ockley, which is actually in Surrey. But again, it's following the stream, so it's over little bridges over the streams to see these giant hogweeds. And this stuff is very dangerous. And you brush against it.
Sorry. Press the button.
What was that?
No, don't worry. That was...
Yeah, you brush against it with any bare skin, and it like takes the it's like you're being burnt, and it takes all the UV protection away from your skin.
Good
so
God.
Any sunlight, it's just like you've put a torch against your skin, so you get blisters wherever you see any sunlight. It's really, really bad.
Heavens! So I mean, that would? I mean, I shouldn't say this. What a dreadful torture instrument, or a revenge thing. You stick that in somebody's bed and they climb into it and go, ah, yeah.
No, right, but the trouble is, children play because once it starts to grow, you've got like these tubes, it's like lumps of celery.
Yes.
And the children sort of cut it off. And it's like a pea shooter or something like that. You put it on your mouth or on your eyes, like a binoculars, and it will actually burn your skin around your mouth and around your eyes.
God.
Very dangerous.
Yes.
I have to say, I mean, Horsham District Council have been very good. I mean, up around where I am, they've actually started killing off with very aggressive weed killer these giant plants, because they're all over the place.
Are they?
You'll have to come up with your camera up north of Horsham, and you can sit in this field of it. It's really, really aggressive.
Well, I'm scared now.
It's dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Imagine if you accidentally waded into a field of it thinking, oh, it's fine, and you found that you're burning and you can't get out.
I mean, what caught me out, I mean, it was simply, like I'm strimming along the side of the garden. I've got like a normal sort of 6-foot feather-like fence that goes along. Obviously, some bird had eaten the seed and dropped it. He put his seed down there, and you get a little bit of a plant grow. You come along and strim it with your strimmer. You splash it along. Bits of sap come off on your arms. The next day, you've got like blisters on your skin. Like you've been burnt, and it's very painful. It actually took about 6 months for the scars to disappear.
Good God.
I mean, it's only the age of my wrinkles now that's going up.
So what do you feel the pain immediately?
No, you wouldn't even know.
Oh, I see. It's not like it's red hot, but it's an acid that sort of.
No, that's right. It's just like you've been splashed with water, basically.
And it's painful.
When it's settled in, it's like a blister.
Yeah,
it's like you've been burned. But like, if you put your arm against like your domestic iron and burn your skin.
Yes.
And then the blister comes up an hour later. It's just like that.
Oh, is it?
They're very, very poisonous plants. Very dangerous.
Yes, but so so the signs, you don't know when you're wading through it and thinking, oh, I'll just get through this bloody, and so you could just carry on. Like if they were actually hot, you'd go, oh no, I'm not going to do that. But you could carry on going, oh, this bloody plant, and just keep going, and then end up, if you were say stripped to the waist or something on a very hot day, and a kid would run through it, not think anything more, and then that evening they're in agony.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not like going through nettles. You get stung, you know about it.
Yeah, you feel it immediately.
You get pricked, you know about it. But these things, you don't. They're very dangerous.
Gosh.
And very poisonous.
Well, thank you for alerting us on that. I'd heard of hogweed, but I couldn't never have placed it. And
no, hogweed is okay.
Oh, what is it?
Giant hog.
Giant hogweed. Yeah. And what is typically, how gigantic do they get?
Well, those pictures I said, that one, at least the size, once they've grown, at least the size of a person, 6 to 8 feet tall.
Right.
but the leaves are enormous. And the trouble is, when they're growing, the leaves, you don't see the stalk, which is, a 6 feet high, tall, but the leaves are there earlier, and they're just as bad. Their sap is just the same as the stalk.
I've just put on some pictures, thanks to Sean James Cameron, who's my chief researcher, of some of the blisters that obviously somebody has had, and it's quite horrific.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
Good God, I hadn't...
Yeah, that's right. That's what I had on my arm, but not as big as that.
I mean,
imagine that all the way up your forearm, both sides.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And then, of course, if they pop, then that would be severely painful.
Very sore.
Good heavens.
And these things are all over, certainly over northwest Sussex. So be careful, folks. Be very careful.
Be careful. Don't go fiddling around with plants bigger than yourself, basically.
No, absolutely.
Well, thank you very much, Ray.
Anyway, I won't bore you anymore.
No, you've scared us rigid, I can tell you.
But I do enjoy the challenge of trying to make some music for you, even though I'm not a musician.
No. Well, we haven't given trying. You... Do you want more challenges?
Well, I'm starting to... yes, I like a challenge. I've got a few of their own... a bit of country music perhaps next time. We'll try that.
Okay.
Anyway, let your viewers give me a challenge. We'll see what we can do.
Okay, so there we go. You've got it. That's it, folks. Nothing.
Very nice to talk.
Yeah, no, lovely to talk to you, Ray, and thanks for the call. Very much appreciated.
No problem. I appreciate it. Cheers.
Enjoy the weekend. Bye-bye. There we are. That's Ray of Hope, ladies and gentlemen, giving us a ray of gloom in terms of these enormous and rather frightening giant hogweeds. I hadn't realised that they were quite that severe. I will have to be a bit more respectful when I'm out in the countryside. Have you encountered them? Would love to know. Do send us well, give us a call if you like, or let us know in there. Be interesting. Mark Burgess says it's nature biting back. It's true. Maybe if we were to plant a ton of those where they're going to start building places, it might put them off building there. Colonel Crograti says, when my grandson was 10, we were on a walk and I was helping him over a fence and he slipped and fell head first into some stinging nettles. I was not popular with him or his mum. No, I can imagine. Thank God it wasn't giant hogweed. There we are. Josephine Suter says, what a lovely man. He is a lovely man. That is Ray. Shall we listen to some of Ray's fantastic music? I think we should. Let's nip into the video box. So bear in mind... Oh, hello. The lovely Julia is here. Hey, she's here. Marvellous. Hang on. Let's say a few words to the lovely Julia. Hang on a minute. We'll just come out of that and go back to here. And I've snagged myself on my headphones. Hang on, lovely Julia. Hello, lovely Julia.
Hello, lovely Richard. A few words.
So nice to see you. Sorry that you've had some issues with Geronimo Joe.
Yeah, sorry I'm so late to everybody.
No, don't you worry. Although of course everybody has missed you. Station Master's Choice is saying hello, which is very nice.
Well, luckily we had lovely champs to occupy some time.
Yes. And she sent in this challenge, I don't know whether you saw it, about falling down the stairs into an orange box of Lego. Have you recently had any, I mean, with the kids around, have you had any nasty mishaps?
Well, with Joe, for example, half an hour ago, getting his head wedged between two of the bars on his bed.
Oh no! And he
didn't think it possible.
And he couldn't.
No, fortunately, I managed to keep calm. You can actually hear me, can't you?
Yeah.
Good.
I can hear you.
I just realised I don't have my little microphone in, so it must be coming through the camera.
Yeah. Coming in loud and clear.
Good. I managed to use my foot to extend the gap and calmly post him back through.
You didn't need to use some butter or something?
No, thankfully, nothing like that.
Oh, bless him. Bonnie
Only went
says,
to get some Calpol, for goodness sake.
yes, you leave them
child.
for you leave them for 2 minutes and they get up to mischief. Andrew Norris is saying, glad you made it, TLJ. Josephine Suter says we missed you, and Bonnie says now the show can begin. Absolutely fantastic. We've had some wonderful pictures from people, including Paul Rampton and this very odd moth. Did you see the moth picture?
I did. I've
just
seen
show
pictures
you-
of them before, but never in the flesh.
Oh, I have never seen this before. Maybe
I've seen hawk moths. They're amazing. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Look at that.
Look at that. It's just like the colouring is so good. The disguise of it. It just, you would think that's a twig and you wouldn't worry about it. You wouldn't think that's a tasty. Oh, I've lost you. You wouldn't think that's a tasty meal. How do I find you? There you are. But yeah, there it is. There it is. Well, there
The
it is.
Concord's wonky. Oh well.
Oh, sorry about that. If people are looking at a Concorde,
Hide it.
they're looking at the wrong thing, in my humble opinion. Have you come across hogweed?
No. I've heard about it.
Yeah.
The giant hogweed. Nasty stuff. Nasty.
Very nasty. So there, yeah. And those blisters, the kids' blisters, they look just rather awful.
Yeah. Only once have I seen an injury similar to that, and that was a kitten when I was living in Kuwait, down by the pool. We had an outdoor pool at the block of flats we lived in, and this kitten it had only been stung by a bee, and I knew that because the bee was dying over in the other corner. But this poor kitten's paw had swollen to 5-6 times its natural size. It was awful, poor little thing. But of course, no vets out there really.
No. Cool, poor little
And
bugger.
they certainly wouldn't have treated a stray kitten.
No. Oh,
little thing.
that's a shame. What have we got here? Colonel Craig Ratty says a climbing friend slipped down the stairs when barefooted and smashed 4 banister support rails and broke 2 of his toes.
Ooh, no.
That is nasty. Yeah,
You want to be careful on stairs, don't you?
So far, I've been very lucky. Never been stung by a wasp or a bee, and I've never broken a bone.
I've probably fractured bones. Oh yes, I have broken bones. my little finger.
Your little finger, and that's
Thankfully,
a shame
I've not
because
broken any major ones.
Is that on your strumming hand or your
No, it's
fret
on
hand?
it's on my fret hand. So it twists inwards instead of outwards, where it would have been handy if it done that, because I could have reached the chords more easily.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Oh well.
And Station Master's Choice is saying, yes, it was a buff tip moth, that one that Paul Rampton sent in. Thank you very much for that. We were going to listen to some music. You fancy listening to a bit of a sea shanty?
Yeah. Sorry, Flappy Goose just said I got my head stuck between stair banisters as a kid. My proudest moment. I've done that as well, and my elbows and my knees.
Stuck
kept
between
doing it.
banisters?
Yeah. Anyway, yes, let's listen to some moose hit.
Yes, so this is a sea shanty, and
Lossies, actually. The seas. Oh.
he says this
I
one
can't
is. He said this one is popular at the moment. It's called the Wellerman. I've never heard it myself.
Yep.
But
Heard of this one.
oh, we have heard of it.
Tried learning it on the ukulele.
Oh, okay. Well, let's have a listen to Jolly Old Ray. Bear in mind, this is take 15 of 15 attempts to do it. So I'm sure it's worthy of a big round of applause at the end.
I'm going to have a try a very popular sea shanty at the moment. Let's start off. very fast, very difficult.
Very fast, very difficult. 15 takes. Well done, sir. Top man. How about that? That was amazing. Superb. Thank you so much, Ray, and thank you for going through the effort of doing 15 takes or whatever it was you said. We do really appreciate it, and everyone was, I'm sure, just doing a C jig along with it.
That gets 15 standing ovations from me.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, hard and fast. The Wellerman, where do you know that from? I mean, it seems to me sea shanties, unless you're in a certain community, it would be quite an obscure thing.
So are you asking me where I know it from?
Yeah.
Well, recently, this year, in lockdown this year, I joined through our lovely friend Lee Lawson, a sea shanty singing group.
Ah, there you are.
Yeah, the Secret Shore Singers I believe they're based in Shoreham. But yeah, I've been really enjoying it. So we've done it on a couple of times, although I'm still kind of learning the songs and.
So do you do this on Zoom or do you go to meetings?
No, I've only ever been joined them on Zoom. I think they've only met up a couple of times in the last 15 months in the flesh. But yeah, it's mainly Zoom.
There's a number of interesting comments out there saying that this particular track went viral on TikTok, which I haven't really got to grips with. I'm not quite sure what TikTok is other than the NHS dancing about. That's all I know from TikTok, that they dance about during COVID. And what else have we got there? Hasn't it been in the charts, says Mark Burgess. Can't imagine it being in the chart. What, in the pop charts? Can't imagine it being, something that Led Zeppelin would have played. Or who was that band that we were talking about earlier? Genesis. Or
that was on Phil Collins, wasn't it?
Yeah, or Britney Spears.
Free Britney.
Whoever.
Sorry.
Free Britney.
Poor girl.
Is she on the ferries or something? Let her loose off the ferry.
No, she's trapped in a stupid contract thing where her dad has control of her and her life and her body. It's very, very bad.
And her body.
Yep.
Most peculiar.
Yeah, no, go look it up.
Yeah, okay. So Follyfoot was a TV programme. It's from the advert for Puffin Pilchards, says Dave Ivad. I don't know.
Well, that makes sense.
I don't know whether to believe him or not, really. Puffin Pilchards.
It's Dave Ivad.
Yes,
just take it with bucketfuls of salt.
Yes. Anyway, Edward.
Like you, really.
What?
Like you, really.
Oh, thanks.
Well, when you showed me that picture that you showed the audience earlier, one of the Spitfire.
Oh yeah, this one here.
And you said no. Yeah, that's it. And you said, "Oh, do you like this painting of this boat?" And I started looking in the water for the boat. It's upside down, though.
Oh, this is the Australian one. Sorry, let me just get the English version. That was the Australian one. This is the English one.
But
he gave me two pictures. I'm sending the Australian one to Max Downs he's not in Australia. Who have we got in Australia? Merritt Genealogy, we haven't seen for a while, but we'll send it down to him.
Lovely painting.
Yeah, that one's lovely, and I know that Ernie Summit will be. Talking of Ernie, I'm going down. I think it's the week after next. I'm going down to Ernie's place for a week. Shouldn't really announce that publicly in case burglars are listening, but don't worry, I'm taking all the.
It's all right. I'll be house sitting.
Oh, will you? Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm going down there in the van. I don't know. It's in a week's time. I don't know how many days I'm staying there. I need to check my diary and the exact dates. But so there may be a hole in the broadcasts.
A gap in the programme?
Yeah, I know. After 4 years,
my gosh.
It may be a bit much. It was doing a victory roll, says Michael White. Oh, was it? Oh,
Yes.
That's why it was upside down. Well, I hope I mean, I always think when artists paint aeroplanes like Spitfires and things in the air, they must be very quick, mustn't they? Because they fly. There we go. Done it.
Very strange.
Oh, it's got a message.
I have. Oh, yeah, that was interesting. Nigel Sadler, I managed to catch that. He said earlier that their house has been buzzed all day by a Spitfire. He said, I don't know whether it was one.
Who was that?
Or Nigel Sadler.
Oh, Nigel Sadler over in Kent.
Earlier on in the chat.
Oh, right.
Way back when.
Oh, maybe they're
Before
practicing
things
for a some event or something.
Maybe.
One is made of canvas, the other is made of metal. Pointed wingtips and rounded wingtips. They're telling me the difference between Hurricanes and whatever the other one was, the Spitfires. As I said before, TLJ, take over the show in your absence. Yes, that's right.
I wouldn't know what to do with. There's too many things.
Too many
press.
buttons.
Yeah.
It's true. I must teach you before I go.
If there's one button, turn on. There we go.
Yeah. Well,
Simples.
you could sign in the account from where you are.
Oh.
And just go live. But anyway,
Okay.
never. Oh, it's
No, I couldn't.
an air show at Headcom, wherever Headcom. I've never heard of Headcom. So curious.
Headcorn.
Oh, Headcorn.
That's an airbase, isn't it?
Is it in Kent somewhere? A Spitfire often
makes
flies above Capel Le Fern, says Mark. Where is Capel Le Fern?
I have no idea. Let's go and have a look.
Yeah, you check.
Why
that
don't you
out.
go and Google it?
You Google it. You've got fingers.
Yeah, but you can put it on the screen.
Oh yes, that's true. How's the new keyboard?
Yes, it's still wrapped at the moment.
So oh, blimey, that's loud. Capel Le Fern or something, was it? Capel Le Fern,
Ooh.
primary school. So yes,
More compact than the last silicon one I had.
So tell us the story of what happened to your keyboards in the past.
My keyboards always die because I spill sugary drinks on them.
Sugary drinks.
That's about the sum of it.
Specifically sugary drinks.
Yes, well, I am a sugar addict.
Right.
So I have reduced my sugar intake, but I have plateaued. I need to reduce some more, but that's beside the point. And every time I spill, I will put up with a broken and manky keyboard for months and months and months. And I will insist, people will be like, oh, let me buy you a new keyboard. Oh, let me buy you one. And I'm like, no, I don't deserve a new keyboard because I can't look after them. And then, like months, 6 months, 12 months go by. And then I eventually get a new keyboard and guaranteed, bam, down drink goes all over it. So
you've got this silicon one.
Got the silicon one. I did have a silicon one, which was very good. It lasted about 2 years. Which is a record.
so that's waterproof, presumably. Then.
Yes, it is.
So the drinks going on it won't affect it.
They'll just dribble straight off, and I'll be able to wash it under the tap, so long as I'm very careful with the cable there.
Right.
But because it is silicon, it means that all the the delicate wiring inside is delicate. So it's a
we have
a trade-off.
We have a caller on the phone tinkling in. Did I say that once?
By the way, thank you very much for the keyboard.
Trevor.
Oh, that's my pleasure. Hello, caller.
Hello, Richard. It's Trevor.
Hello, Trevor. How are you?
I'm good. I was just going to let you know, it's on about the giant hogweed.
Yes.
Well, I see it occasionally along the canal, but what I've seen an awful lot of this year is the water hemlock.
Oh, right. Is that poisonous?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I don't think it gives you rashes like if you touch it.
Yeah, I thought hemlock was because it's it's from fables and things like that. But so tell me, what does the water hemlock look like?
Obviously you know what cow parsley looks like.
Yes.
It looks very similar to cow parsley, but the leaves are a little bit slightly different colour green, and normally it's a little bit bigger. And it's in flower now, where the cow parsley is almost going over now. Right,
and so. That's interesting because hogweed is a bit like cow parsley in the way that the little flowers at the top, the giant stuff. And is this one poisonous to touch, or is it if you eat it, hemlock?
I don't think it's poisonous to touch, but I don't know about that. But right. I know it's very poisonous to eat. It's deadly. I don't think there's even I don't think there's any cures for it. I don't think there's any anti.
I have heard that a case in which a wife put some in a salad and killed her husband.
Yeah, well, that would definitely work.
So whereabouts are you, Trevor, and which canal?
I'm on the Trent and Mersey at the moment.
Oh, lovely.
And I've just left a village yesterday called Wheelock, which is spelt Will Lock.
Oh, Will Lock.
But it's pronounced Wheelock.
Yeah.
I'm heading towards Middlewich. I would have got to Middlewich today, but it's been very wet here today, so I stopped after about an hour's cruising. And I've got 4 locks to do before I get to Middlewich, and I don't do locks in the rain unless I can help it.
No, I don't blame you. Why would you? I'm just trying to find it on the map now. Will
Do
lock.
you know what? I'd do 20 locks in the pouring rain right now just to be on a damn canal boat.
Yeah, the thing being is, though, you've got to remember, Julia, I do everything single-handed.
I know,
So-
and you do it
So
every
up
day
and
as
down
well.
up and down
I'm
wet,
allowed to be
slippery
jealous,
ladders. Up and down wet, slippery ladders, climbing in and out the locks. It's hard enough as it is, or dangerous enough as it is, but then you get slippery rocks at the top. I try to stay away from it in the rain.
So what?
If my house was in any organised order, I'd suggest we swap my bricks and mortar for your boat for a bit.
So just to explain where it is again, I'm just what would I type in terms of I put Will lock, WILLOC.
No, wheel, as in WHEELOCK.
Oh right, as in wheel.
Wheel,
wheel,
yeah, as in a car wheel.
Yeah, car wheel, wheel lock. Is it all one word?
Yes, it is.
Let's see what comes up. Oh, hang on.
Here we go. It'll probably come up with the Cheshire Cheese because that's a well-known pub.
Wheelock Sandbach. Is that
it?
Is that it? Oh
Yep.
yeah, here we go.
Yep.
Right, okay. Hang on. Let's just we'll nip over to the map department, and so let's put the satellite thing in so we can see it on Google Maps. So where is the canal? Oh, there's the canal. There's Cheshire Cheese. We see a bridge going over it. So you're somewhere on there.
Yeah, I'm just north of there now. I'm about a mile out of Wheelock.
Ah, right. Okay. It looks very countrified.
I am in the countryside. There's a little village, I think, nearby, but I can see in the distance, but I'm not there.
So you've obviously gone past what looks like the old sewage farm at some point.
Yes, I have gone past the sewage farm. It's a bit stinky.
Yeah, I bet. And then
we have a question from Sean James Cameron.
Oh, lovely.
But why aren't the locks all done by remote control?
Oh my!
Well, it's probably because they're about 200 years old.
Because when they were built 250 years ago, the electric hadn't been invented.
Can you imagine the CRT having to keep them and maintain every single lock up and down the countryside? It would never happen, would it?
No, it's difficult enough at the moment with all the big wooden clunky.
And part of the fun of the holiday
It
makers...
is the character of it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the fun of the holiday makers, it may not be fun for people like yourself who's on there permanently, and it'd be lovely if you could just have a little remote thing like you do on a garage that opens up, that you just point it.
Actually, I actually like doing the locks. It actually breaks up the cruising, and I actually have no problems doing locks at all. I just try not to do them in the wet because, they're quite dangerous, as you know. You've been through
I was going
locks.
to say, it does make it a bit more dangerous.
And if you're doing it all on your own, I've got to climb up and down to get on the boat to move the boat out and all that sort of thing. So it's so I try not to do them in the rain. Obviously, if I get caught in the shower, I'll finish off doing the lock. I'm not going to just stay there.
Yes.
But it's I try not. I don't cruise. I don't mind cruising in the rain if it's just cruising, but otherwise I don't move in the rain. If I have the choice, I don't have to move in the rain. Of course, I have the choice.
No, absolutely. Yeah. I'm just looking at your YouTube channel to give you a plug. Why not?
Thank you.
Trev's Travels by Narrowboat. There he is. We could do some more subscribers and
hit the sub button. Hit the sub button.
Do it. Lots of good videos on there, and we can find out all about it. Who broke the lock? Oh, that looks interesting. And I passed the plum pudding. Oh, fantastic stuff. Well, we must follow your progress. Thank you so much for calling in.
Okay, Richard, I just want to let you know about the water hemlock, which is just it's probably as dangerous as the giant hemlock.
Yeah.
The giant hogwort.
So what is it? Is it growing in great clusters like...
Yes.
The other thing that you just mentioned, the normal one?
It grows all along the water edge. You quite often normally see it on... It's not so much normally on the towpath side, because quite often the towpaths get cut back. And so it's on the offside, you'll see it growing all the way down the canal. I can actually see some growing from here. That's what made me think of it and give you a call.
So I mean, you might, particularly if you're on holiday and you go and moor up, you could moor up next to the thing and think it's a nice bit of cow parsley, and have a munch.
Which is edible, of course. Cow parsley is edible.
Oh, is it? Do you do what Fran and Rich does and forages along the side?
I do sometimes. Yeah, I do pick up bits and pieces. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I do know most of the edible plants.
Oh, good. I wish we did. Linda Kane bought me this lovely book called I can't remember what it was called. It's probably on the shelf, but it's about foraging. Yes, maybe. Foraging and stuff. And I said, "Oh, great, we'll go make a video about it." And then you put it down, it gets lost.
Probably lost it.
Yeah, no, I have got it.
Who do you think you are, Julia?
Anyway,
lost in the collection.
We're over time, and I want to show Bernie's video before we go.
I'll go. I'll get it in your hair.
But no. Thank you so much.
Sorry.
No.
I didn't mean it like that, Richard. Sorry.
You cheeky swine.
You know what I meant.
Yeah, you don't know where my hair is.
But wait, what's this? There's Trev in my hair.
I have got.
Hey, Trev, how you get?
But no, call in again. We must follow your progress.
Okay, Richard.
Yeah.
Take care.
Look after yourself. Have a good weekend.
You too.
There we are.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.
That's Trev's Travels by Narrowboat. Check him out on the Tube of Views. He is up somewhere near Wheel Lock. Whilst we were looking on the maps, just before we get to Bernie's Bosham video, this is where Capel-le-Fern is. Somebody told me to look it up, and it's down here by the Battle of Britain Memorial. Where is that? It's near Folkestone. I thought it must have been in France, but no.
It sounds French, doesn't it?
It does sound French, but there it is. You can see. Can you recognise that is England? Look, that's almost the "Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler?" It's almost the beginning of. Never mind, showing my age. But there it is. It's down there somewhere, and I don't really know why it's called Capel-le-Fern, but presumably it is a result of the Normans coming in, I guess, at some juncture, because it's quite close to the narrowest point, if not on the narrowest point. But anyway, there we are. Between France, that is, Calais and Angleterre. So that's nice. Bonnie says, can you forage a ferret? I'm not sure that you can forage a ferret. I think that would be...
But can you ferret a forage, though?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I sat on a ferret the other day.
Don't start it.
Yeah, we've managed not to sing that. They were remote controlled. They were called lock keepers. Yes, that's true. In the old days, there were a few of them who did that. But now, of course, nobody pays. Who pays the ferryman? Who pays the lock keeper? Who finds them? Right, I think we should show Bernie. Bernie, I'm so sorry to leave you waiting on your marvellous video. By the way, he says he's off to Wales very soon, and he's going to be gathering more footage for the winter for the videos. So thank you very much, Bernie. He says it's a bit longer than normal, but we don't mind because we love your videos, Bernie, particularly as this is Bosham Church.
Well, can't really visit Bosham without having a visit to its church, and this lovely little gateway here. This is the Church of St Giles, Bosham, and it's a wonderful looking church here. Dates back to the 12th century, although renovations and alterations over the years, there would appear to be not really very much of the original left now. But once again we have a wonderful selection of old gravestones here. And I'm looking at a very interesting set. I don't know whether I really dare. I don't want to upset anybody by walking over their grave, but this set here, I can't see any writing on them. They're very similar to graves that I saw over in the church at Brighton, and I'm wondering if they're smugglers' graves. Look at that. Look at the design of the tower there. See that? Octagonal? Octagonal, whatever, at the top there. That is an unusual design. More like a castle tower than a church tower. And I'm not going to go any further on here. The grass is soaking wet. I've only got sandals on. And the graves go way back over there. See, this is history. This is history because every single one of those graves there's a name attached to it. A person who lived, worked, died, maybe raised a family. How long ago? 17th century? Possibly not. 18th and 19th century? I think there's a fair possibility. These two appear to be a bit more recent. But I haven't got my reading glasses with me and it is a little bit dark down here. But they're rather nice. Oh, looking up at the tower there. Ah. Lovely. Lovely smell. And looking down there, the road up towards Sandhurst disappears. The door is locked, of course, and that's perfectly fair and reasonable. But there we have it. There is none other but the love of God. And this is the gate of heaven. Lovely words. And a lovely place. And how nice to see it as the sun is just beginning to rise. But look at that. As the sun comes through the trees, this really is the end of my visit to Bosham for this morning. And now I will get on to Kent.
Kent. That sounds great. Kent, wait. Absolutely fantastic. And some lovely thoughts in there. Bernie. Rummaging around my head. What's his name? Bernie, of course it's Bernie. Sorry, we're running a bit late. Apologies for that. And apologies, Bernie. But beautiful video. Thank you very much.
That was lovely.
Very atmospheric. Lovely to see that. And I think Rufus said he couldn't get your accent. We love your accent. We absolutely love it. So
we love all the accents here.
Yes. That is the nature of this show. It's quite an eclectic mix of different people with different types of accents, which is why we enjoy and we all get on. Sean and Lisa have sent in some bloomers. So before we go, we need to have a quick look at that. So Lisa has sent in her bloomers, and the question is, what happened? Let's have a look at the pictures first of all. Here we go.
Do you actually mean bloopers then?
Oh, did I? Well, bloopers are... I would have said bloopers are those mistakes you make when you swear or something, and bloomers, I don't know what you... Well, I think
bloopers are just mistakes, I thought.
Oh, are they? Anyway, here we go. Here's the first
bloomers
thing.
are underwear.
Yeah, I know they're underwear, but people do say I've made a bloomer.
Uh-oh. Please tell me no one fell down that.
Let's hope. This is Lisa. Lamborghini. And she must have fallen down because there's the evidence. Oh,
ouch.
my.
Do you know, I've done that to the front of my shin so many times when I was a kid.
Cool.
And had a cabin bed. Used to try running up the ladder.
That looks, and it could have been a hell of a lot worse. So she says, this is Lisa Lambourne says, fell down at the drain as the cover gave way. Only went down 4 foot, only, as caught foot on ledge. I was very accident prone. Blimey. That is
Thank goodness you didn't break a bone or anything.
Oh my goodness! Thank you so much. People who make bread make bloomers, says Michael White, pointing that.
Yes, quite.
Out. So that's true. And here is the bloomer or blooper, if you like. This is just trying to see if I haven't got his bloomer, but this is his first attempt making bread. Oh, it's is it a video? Oh no, it's a picture.
A bread bloomer.
A bread bloomer. Here we go.
Ooh, very nice.
So it's kind of like a flat bread, but not a flat bread in the traditional flatbread sense, but a very...
It's probably very filling.
Yeah, didn't rise very much by the looks of things, or it's spread out. But I'm sure if you put spread on it, especially some of that Proactive you've got there, I bet it tastes delicious. I will have to put my recipe up. Somebody's asked me for my recipe, which is... a cheap old recipe.
Did you not give your recipe when you did the bread making video?
I can't even remember. Did I do a bread making video?
You did.
Did I? Well, it's on that then.
Yeah.
I can't. You see, the trouble with me is I can't remember what videos I've made and what videos I haven't made.
I'll have to try and remember to find it after the show and check.
Yeah, I'll have to do the same. And this is what the water hemlock looks like, just for those who are interested.
So pretty as well.
It's very pretty, but don't put it in your salad.
No.
So this is one of the dangers, isn't it? That you can go foraging, but you really need to know what it is that you've got, because you could eat the wrong thing and never wake up.
Yeah.
So there we go. How about that? Thank you very much, Sean, for that. So that's it. Thanks very much for all your videos, and thank you for all the quizzes and the photos and all of that. Michael White says the bread would keep you regular. Certainly my bread keeps me regular.
I must make another loaf.
Yeah, you must. You were going to make a loaf every week.
I know. I completely lost that, what's the word, New Year's resolution. I think it only took me a month and a half.
Yeah, it's probably best not to make New Year's resolutions. Cause,
no. I hadn't done for years, actually.
Oh, bless you.
That's
but it's
exactly why, though.
Good intention. So there we go. You show your bloomers when you have an accident, is what Emily Champion was thinking. Showing your bloomers when you have an accident. So there we go. Brilliant. That makes perfect sense. Thank you so much. Well, it was a great challenge.
That's just too polite a term for you, though. Champs, isn't it?
Yeah. Could have been you show your clunch, but we won't go down there. Thank you.
Love you.
Yeah,
Clubs.
take care. So, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of another exciting show. I hope you've enjoyed it on a Friday evening. Thank you to Colonel Craig Ratty for his garden in bloom, no bloomers in sight. Ray of Hope for the Wellerman Sea Shanty, Bernie and Bosham Church. Jackie and Miles for the Worthing and Bosham video, which was lovely. The spa for the eyes. Thanks to Emily Champion for the phone call and the Show Us Your Bloomers theme. Also to Trev's Travels by Narrow Boat. Got me tripping on my tongue there. For your phone call and your wise words. Also to Ray of Hope for the ringing up and telling us about the giant hogweed. Thank you very much, Julia. And to Bonnie for the creatures, little mini creatures quiz.
Wasn't that Jean?
That was Jean did the photos. Jean Blemmings,
right.
And Bonnie sent the quiz, or set the quiz. To lovely Julia, who managed to throttle little Joe, and get him to sleep, and bludgeon him over the head.
If only it were that easy.
Oh, children, eh? And to everybody else who has commented out there, and to the lovely Judith and Julia for moderating.
Yeah, you just tend to, you're starting to merge the two names. It's Judia.
Judia for judiciously.
Or TLJ squared, maybe.
Exactly. There you go. Fantastic.
And more importantly, thank you to Richard for the great show.
Oh, well, it's my pleasure. It's what I do. But I appreciate it. And if you want to keep the show going, you can, of course, make a small or large donation at boldexplorer.com. Which is always, and thank you very much to those people who have. It does really help. We invest them in the show on things like these snazzy microphones and things like that. And my new Porsche, by the way, is looking marvellous. got rid of that black van and got a Porsche. No. So that's it for now. Back again on Monday. Hopefully Julia will be here in the studio to actually have a look at these microphones, and we will see her dulcet hairstyle with her tones, dulcet tones, and you know what I'm saying. I'm tired now. I'm tired. Yeah. I'm flagging. Flagging a bit. Bonnie's going glamping next week. I cannot think of anything worse than glamping, but well, there's lots of.
It sounds good to me.
Glamping.
I did enough camping as a kid. Glamping's good.
Oh, I don't know. So yeah, well, good luck. Have a nice time anyway. Glamping. I don't really know what that's involved.
Enjoy.
Probably lots of champagne and stuff. But
nice bell tent with a nice wooden floor and a big double bed. Yep.
Yeah, you may
sound of the rain on the canvas.
You may as well get Airbnb. That's what I think. Anyway, nobody cares.
Either or.
Yeah, either or. But anyway, I hope you have a lovely time. That's the main thing. Have a lovely time. Send us some pictures and various things. We'd be interested to see that. And what will we send in next time, says Audrey Ford.
Oh, yes. For Monday, I would like to see everybody's favourite shoes. So be it that your favourite to make you feel good, or your favourite because they're comfortable, or your favourite because they keep your feet safe when you're working. Just, I want a picture of your favourite shoes, please.
Favourite shoes, send them in on Monday. Don't send them before Monday because I'll lose them. Send them in on Monday if possible. Your favourite shoes.
To Richard@Vobes.com.
Exactly. And of course, you can, what was I going to say, is you can send them in during the show as well. So that's it. Brilliant. Yeah, thank you, Julia, for setting that one up. Your favourite shoes.
Thank you for the reminder.
That's great. Until next time, take care. Have a good weekend. Have a good weekend, Julia.
And to you. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Take care. Look after yourselves. Thanks for coming along. Don't forget to give us a big thumbs up on the way out and wash your feet before you go to bed. Until next time, toodle pip, arrivederci, and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.